Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cap Sports, and it's our college football post-game, Michigan and Michigan State. Not much to really bank off of this week since it's two cupcake games, but Michigan themselves did not look fantastic, only winning 28-18 against Arkansas State. Warren throwing 3 picks and only 122 yards. Orji came in, was 2 for 4, 12 yards passing with a TD pass. And then he also rushed for 27. But
who did Michigan State play? Little House on the Prairie?
Yes.
Laura Laura Ingalls quarterback.
Threw for 150 yards.
Yeah, nobody cares. 40-0.
Half pipe, we call it.
Michigan's rushing attack against Arkansas State did well, 301 yards, but passing wise, it was not there.
I will tell
we need a quarterback.
Michigan fans. It's a reality check for you. Your team is not that good.
No, I mean when you have
you have 2 quarterbacks that are not really college Division One quarterbacks at all, and you're going to have a rough time.
We got Elizabeth Warren at quarterback.
You're going to have a rough year. You're going to lose next week, probably badly. I imagine you're going to lose at Washington.
Yes.
You're going to lose to Ohio State. You're going to lose to Oregon.
That's not looking
reality check. And my Spartans,
we may lose to the
who
Spartans.
I thought never had a chance against you.
We probably may lose to the Spartans.
Have a chance.
Yeah, when Arkansas State's quarterbacks, because they had 2 throw 222 yards on you, your rushing defense did good like it did against the other team, 58. I'm just saying, Arkansas State shouldn't have put up 18 points on you if you're trying to be that great of a team that you say you are.
3 interceptions. I know they're going to put up some points.
And I don't want to hear this excuse that they had 11 or 12 guys go to the NFL. Top college programs have guys on their roster that can fill in those spots. They can.
It just looks
Bama and Georgia have been doing that for years.
Right. I'm not saying that they should. Like
OSU as well.
A national championship team, but they shouldn't drop off this much.
No, you shouldn't. And the thing is, there is legitimate worry for how the season's going to go with how many losses they may have. But then you go on the other side, and you're looking at Michigan State, who did win 40-0 against Prairie View, which is what you're supposed to do against a team like Prairie View. Pound them into the ground.
Us 3 could have beaten Prairie View.
That's right.
Your QBs threw for.
Mrs. Olsen didn't get a sack.
Yeah.
Your QBs threw for 270 yards, which you should do, and you ran for 188. And that's what you want to see when you play a team like Prairie View that is basically a no-name school. Now, Michigan State is not ranked in the new rankings, which is surprising to me. I thought they would crack the top 25 with how they've been playing, but they did not. Michigan still ranked, which I don't know if they should be.
I think they're right about where they need to be. If they have one more loss like they're going to next week, they're going to be out of the top 20.
They should be out of the top. They're not.
After next week, they'll be out of the top 20.
I don't think there's much of a difference between Michigan and State at this point talent-wise. Michigan may have a little bit better.
It does boggle the mind though how Michigan did not have a quarterback to replace JJ.
I would say that.
And when your starting quarterback is a walk-on, you're not going to compete on a national level. Forget it.
A school like Michigan should never, ever have to start a walk-on.
Yep.
They picked him.
You know what it is, guys?
They picked him.
I hate to say it. Michigan fans ain't going to want to hear it. You could be entering the Rich Rod era again.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, everyone was going, hey, we got to get rid of Harbaugh. Everyone who hated Harbaugh, including you. I want to get rid of this guy.
No, I didn't like Harbaugh, but he's the best coach you ever had.
This guy, you have to be able to recruit this thing. And once you start dropping like they are, like a stone, no one's going to come here.
Well, when you hear
no big time players.
I don't think Harbaugh really wanted to leave, but he felt he had to. Probably didn't get along with Ward Manuel. These scandals that are coming out, and yes, Michigan fans,
if they're going to return,
probably cheated.
Who cares?
But that's how it goes in college football. But he figured, that was as good a time as any to get the hell out of here. And he did.
I mean, and when I hear,
I don't blame
because
him.
I've seen stuff saying that Moore,
I don't blame
because
him.
I've seen stuff saying that Moore is very bad at motivating his players.
There's nothing to
So-
more.
So
There's nothing to more.
so
When
he's-
you heard Michigan and you heard
He's a good
Jim
coordinator.
Harbaugh, you're like, yeah, that's a national name. You hear
Right.
Sharon Moore, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good.
he's
gonna
apparently
cry
There's
not.
a lot.
really no excitement to him.
I was going to say,
Thank you.
apparently he's not good at motivating his players, and that is not good
Back
for
in the
even
day,
recruiting.
when you mentioned
No,
Lloyd Carr, people knew you were talking.
right. You got to be able to
Sharon
get
Moore
players.
is just like, okay, there
and,
you
and
are.
this, I don't think Moore can get players. And they just gave this guy a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
So you're stuck. So I don't care if you hate Michigan or not. Saturdays are going to be a lot less fun. The rivalries are going to be a lot less fun because, maybe
Well,
we can play with
the
Michigan
Ohio State game isn't going to mean
Right.
as much.
And I ain't even going to watch it. I might not even bother.
I swore up
Because,
and
I
down
mean,
I wasn't going to
If
watch
you're
the
going to get
State
to that
game.
point, that's what this is. It's a product. Sports are entertainment. And if you're not going to put a product out there that people want to watch, then it's just going to be a lot less fun around Saturdays. Then.
All you can hope for next week, even if they're competitive with USC, even if they take them down to the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, it'll give fans something to be
Yeah.
upbeat about. Because right now they're just like, we're going to get our asses kicked.
Right
week.
now, USC is favorited. They're also still ranked 11th in the country.
What's the line at?
The line itself. Let me back out so I can actually see the. Oh, they're not even showing me the bet line right now. Isn't that fantastic?
What is USC favored by?
It's not even showing me.
If I had to guess, I would say 3.5.
They have a 57% chance of winning, is what I got.
Now, what I would do, honestly, for the USC game, if I was Sharon Moore, put Orgy in there the whole game.
That's what they're talking about. That there's no
What else you
confirmed
got
who's
to lose?
starting
He's
next
more
week.
mobile. I don't know how his arm's any better, but he's more mobile than what you have now.
But I would expect to lose against USC. You're going to be 500, and you're probably going to drop below 500 at some point with who you're playing before you go back up. Michigan State, they're playing Boston College. They're no longer ranked. They were ranked at one point. And then they lost this
I
week.
don't know
So-
which game to point to say when Michigan. I don't know which one to point to say if they win this one, then Michigan State's relevant. I mean, they're still. I mean,
well, if you want,
they haven't really
if you
beat
want
anybody.
me to tell you when the
Maryland
relevancy
was a good victor, but
when
Boston College, I don't know much about. They're
Well-
usually a bunch of
well-
They're a good
innovators.
team, though. I mean, they're a legit college football team. They're not like Prairie View.
Yeah.
if
They're
you
a
want
legit
if
team.
you want me to tell you when relevancy can start after Boston College, you're going to play Ohio State, Oregon, Iowa, Michigan, before you play Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, and Rutgers.
Okay.
So
So it's
yeah.
it begins. It begins.
it begins
The gauntlet begins.
after Boston
And
College.
I don't think we're going to win any of those.
You
games.
go play a home game again.
except maybe against Michigan. They
You-
play at Spartan Stadium.
They play.
Right?
They play at home against Ohio State, at Oregon, at home against Iowa, and then go to the Big House.
Okay, they play
So-
at Michigan.
So they play at Michigan, and they play at Oregon, but they're at home against Ohio State and Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa's
So-
a bunch of chokers. They just lost to Iowa State.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But hey, after this week, you'll see how good your team is when you go play Ohio State. Can you keep up with them? Are you going to beat them? No. Currently, the line is 93% chance that Ohio State wins, according to ESPN.
Wow, it's that low.
Not even giving you guys any of the respect of even like 60-40. It is a
Well, it's being
93-7.
It's being
right there.
realistic.
I just think this is a reflective, and I don't. Why did they give Shelton that more on 5-year contract? Why?
Especially after you played the first two games when he
Right.
wasn't officially
I-
under a deal yet.
If they
Like
think
you
that-
could have changed the wording up
Well,
of that real
I
quick.
don't even know what they're paying this guy.
I think like $5 million or something.
A
like
year?
that. Yeah, I
That's a pretty good chunk of change for a guy that's
For a
never
crack
been a
coach.
head coach.
think it's like somewhere
We'll
around
see.
there. But even like Michigan has a higher chance of being Ohio State right now, according to ESPN, with a 12% chance to beat Ohio State over Michigan State's 7. But I would right now, I feel more confident in Michigan State's season over Michigan season with how it's looking.
Yeah, I would say so too. We'll see how it keeps going, but like we were saying, it's inexcusable for a team coming off a natty not to have a quarterback in place,
I would.
not to have you're now. Like I said, if kids aren't going to come to Michigan now that Jim Harbaugh's gone, if they can't recruit, I don't know why you signed more to a 5-year.
I would say you're going to have some tests after USC to basically your relevancy in the Big Ten this year when you go play Washington. But after USC, you go play Minnesota. If you lose at home to Minnesota,
You could.
I would say your season's done. If you lose at home to Minnesota,
You're done after next week.
I think we're done.
well, I mean, I would say
you
even
can
just
tell
making a
with this
random
team.
bowl game, you might be done.
Your
If you lose
national
to-
champion,
You're not making
you're
the
not
playoffs.
making the playoffs as of right now.
And
You're
right
not.
now,
You
none of us
suck.
cares if they make a full
No,
game. If you don't make the playoffs, it isn't worth it.
But
Because that's all that matters anymore in college football.
you play
can't be one of
Minnesota.
those 12 teams or whatever it is.
After USC, you're going to play Minnesota at home. If you lose that, that's bad. You're going to go to Washington. It's iffy, right? Rematch of last year's national championship between two teams that absolutely blow now.
Right.
Then you're going to come back. You're not even going to come back home. You're going to go to Illinois, who is currently ranked 24 and having a decent year. And if you go lose to Illinois,
Well,
that will be surprising.
I think they're on the schedule. Nebraska is.
Nebraska
There's
is
no
not
pushover.
on.
I think we picked
Nebraska is not on
Okay,
Michigan's
they're lucky.
schedule.
I think we picked the wrong year to start doing college sports.
Last year probably would have been better. You know, it's going to come down to basically how many wins can you get before you hit Michigan State, because you have Michigan State, Oregon, Indiana, Northwestern, and Ohio State. You might be able to slip 2 wins in at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But you are absolutely blowing it right now in terms of a successful season for Michigan. Michigan State, you're doing a great job. Props to you. The new coach has done great, bringing in some
Up to
talent.
this point,
and bringing
give it-
them
give it
more
a couple
relevancy.
weeks, and then we'll see how they compete.
I think they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Certainly. I think that's a good sign. This quarterback is young. If they can keep him for a couple more years, I mean, he's going to develop into something special.
And
that's what you want.
And before we're done completely, we'll do a full-on college roundup. Let's talk about Florida State being 0-3, losing to Memphis this week. The defending undefeated team that believed they should have been in the playoffs has not won a game at all this year. And it's kind of
I
sad.
don't know much about Florida State. This could be a short roundup.
Florida State was supposed to be good.
Well,
And, they have shit to back. Let's just, to put it lightly.
Florida State's 0-2.
They're 0-3.
0-3.
After an undefeated season last year, they're 0-3.
That's who Michigan State played?
No.
Who are we talking about?
I said college, we're talking about upsets.
Oh, okay.
Big upsets that happened this week. You're just clueless over there, not listening to a single thing.
What are we talking about?
You had Georgia, who almost lost to Kentucky this week.
In my team, the Cox! Gamecocks of South Carolina blew it.
who'd they almost beat? LSU?
Yeah, they almost
Yeah.
they should have beat LSU. That guy hit the quarterback or something and would have been pick 6.
There's a lot of I can't believe some of the games that happened. There's Memphis losing to Florida, Memphis beating Florida State 20-12. That was surprising because again, we're thinking Florida State. You had an undefeated season last year. You claimed you should have been in the playoffs, and now you can't even get a win. There's a chance Florida State doesn't win a game this year
Wow.
because
And they fell from that. From complaining they should have made the playoffs last
Florida
year.
State's
That's
remaining
insane.
Florida
Yeah.
State's remaining schedule this year. They play
I don't get it. Maybe just college sports. is
College
slowly
football, it's been weird.
Florida State's remaining schedule is California, SMU, Clemson,
Ohio
Duke,
State's trying to buy.
Miami.
I don't know
North
much about
Carolina.
Cal or SMU.
Well, California is okay, but they could definitely beat them. SMU is okay, and they could probably beat them. Their only realistic chance, in my opinion, for a win this year, their best chance is against Charleston Southern the second to last week of the year. an FCS team. And if you lose to them that late in the year,
Yeah, I was going to say, who the hell are they?
that's embarrassing. And then Florida, obviously, the end of the year, who's also struggling out there, which is bad for them. But I mean, there's some surprising stuff going on in college football. Washington State being Washington, the Pac-12 gets its revenge,
Yeah,
which Pac-12 adding more teams this past week from the Mountain West.
he did. Who they had?
Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State,
All right.
and one other.
Pac-10's back.
So we got right now we have the 6-pack
The 6-pack. Yeah. I like
because they only got 6 teams.
I
But
like
2
that.
more teams, and they'll actually be able to be considered a conference again. So
All right.
there's rumors that other teams might be joining them, but there's your college football roundup for the surprises of what happened this week and the disappointments that of some teams. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around, let us know what you think about college football. Until next time, see everybody soon.